Mishabara?
I'm playing guitar.
Okay,
Anything
so you
where
have
play
it. Okay,
guitar
good.
is-
Because mine, I'm using a book that doesn't have them in the back, so if you were going to lean on me for that, I didn't.
Oh, do I need to, anything when I play guitar, I use this, and I know it hurts.
So I'll take these out of your way in a minute.
Yep. I never realized that the video is clipped.
I wonder what it looks like when it's on, but yeah,
Just like that.
it's mirrored. Interesting, it probably does. It is, probably is mirrored. See, unlike in the chapel, I can look up and adjust my...
I'll take this with me when I'm done.
I'll just leave that. Give them another minute.
We need one of those things that comes out to stand up.
Some of the kids do. I guess we can start if you want it, so. Shabbat Shalom. Our usual minhag, our usual custom is to begin Shabbat services Friday night and Saturday morning with music, often singing the psalm Hine Ma Tov, how good it is to come together. We set the tone in hope and harmony, with an introduction and greetings following after that. Tonight, however, we open with words, and before we begin, we have something to say.
Tonight, we want to welcome the newest member of our temple team and our clergy. We are delighted to officially welcome Rhoda Harrison to Beth Israel as our new cantor.
This match feels, and in writing these remarks for the introduction, Linda and I both wrote this match feels as if it were a bit beshert, a bit meant to be. It is not only a sense of timing and location, but also that Cantor Harrison and I years ago had a conversation about one day working together.
During the past year, we have seen some changes at Beth Israel. We have learned that with patience, perseverance, and working together, we would get through and emerge in an even better place. We were blessed to have several guest cantors and Talia Feshbach to help us bridge the gap until we were able to hire a new cantor. Now that time is here, and we are excited and honored to welcome Cantor Rhoda Harrison to our Beth Israel family. We look forward to her sharing the bima with Rabbi Feshbach and to enhancing the musical spirituality of our services. I want to take a moment just to thank the Cantor Search Committee for their commitment and efforts in working hard to hire our new cantor.
Now, we've used the term cantor many times already. We call Rhoda Harrison, in her work with us, cantor. She holds an ordination from the same Reform Movement seminary where I trained as a rabbi. But she comes to us with experience, passion, excellence in a long record of work, and other titles as well. She is a doctor, a PhD in Jewish studies, and she is also a rabbi, earning rabbinic smicha from a seminary in Baltimore. My hope and prayer is that we are able to work together. We hired you as a cantor, but we are able to work together in a way which brings a sense of fulfillment to you and to all of us.
And now, as I do believe in the word beshert, I wish to officially welcome Rhoda Harrison as the cantor of Congregation Beth Israel. Shabbat Shalom.
page 128.
הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שברכים גם יחד. 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 הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, יאללה ליי, לה 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 ליי. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, יאללה ליי, לה 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 ליי. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, יאללה ליי ליי ליי, יאללה לה לה ליי. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד.
With welcome and introductions following Hine Matov, I'm Rabbi Michael Feshbach.
I'm Cantor Rhoda Harrison.
I'm delighted to welcome Tom Adams as our new accompanist. His wife Janet is with him as well. There are a number of special visitors here from Cantor Harrison's former congregation and also from her family life. So we welcome. I want to welcome her mother. Where is she? And to Moshe Gottesman as well. Welcome. And I see that Rabbi Geller and Elaine Geller are here from Shirat Hayam. Welcome as well. I am looking forward to being at Shirat Hayam on Shabbat morning, the 15th of July. But thank you, and I'm so glad that you are here with us tonight. Kabbalat Shabbat, the psalms and songs with which we welcome Shabbat. Lechuna Ranana and Shiru Ladonai, pages 130 and 131. Behold how good it is to sing praises to God, and come let us sing to God a new song, pages 130 and 131.
Lechon
have chosen tonight settings which are largely familiar to us, we hope. But we are adding one psalm whose setting might be somewhat new. This particular arrangement was put together by my friend and colleague, the Israeli Rabbi Edgar Nof. It is appropriate for tonight as we welcome our new cantor and new accompanist. It is a celebration of music and song and of the shore and of the sea as we take a look at the second half of Psalm 98, page 134. The words we are about to sing mean sing praise to Adonai with the lyre and melodious song, with trumpets and the blast of the horn, raise a shout before Adonai. Zamru l'Adonai b'chinor, page 134.
Zamru l'Adonai b'chinor, b'chinor v'kol zimra, b'chatzot v'kol shofar, hariu lifnei hamelech Adonai. Zamru l'Adonai b'chinor, b'chinor v'kol zimra, b'chatzot v'kol shofar, hariu lifnei hamelech Adonai. Yirat b'chayanu Lord, tevel v'yoshbevav, ve'harot shimcha uchav, yachad yurim yiranenu. Yirat b'chayanu Lord, tevel v'yoshbevav, ve'harot shimcha uchav, yachad yurim yiranenu. Lifnei Adonai kiva, lishpot haaretz, yishpot tevel b'tzedek, ve'amim b'meisharim. Zamru l'Adonai b'chinor, b'chinor v'kol zimra, b'chatzot v'kol shofar, hariu lifnei hamelech Adonai.
On page 135, the words to Romamu, the end of Psalm 99, mean exalt Adonai our God and bow toward God's holy hill. The last paragraph in Hebrew, page 135.
Ramelu Adonai Eloheinu v'yishtakavu le'hakodsho. Ramelu Adonai Eloheinu v'yishtakavu le'hakodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu ramemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu ramemu. Ramemu Adonai Eloheinu v'yishtakavu le'hakodsho. Ramemu Adonai Eloheinu v'yishtakavu le'hakodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu ramemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu ramemu. Ramemu Adonai Eloheinu v'yishtakavu le'hakodsho. Ramemu Adonai Eloheinu v'yishtakavu le'hakodsho.
Lachadodi, pages 138 and 139. And even though it means we are leaving some of the letters out, did you know that if you look at the first letter of each of the stanzas, the author signed his name? Did you know that? Did some of you not know that? So the author of Lachadodi, Shlomo Halevi, if you look at the first letter in stanzas 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, his name is signed there, but we're just doing some of the letters. So stanza 1, 2, 5, and 9, Lachadodi, pages 138 and 139.
Ya la 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 Lachadodi, ya la 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 Likrat Kala, ya la 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 Pnei Shabbat, Pnei Shabbat, Kabbalat. Ya la 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 Lachadodi, ya la 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 Likrat Kala, ya la 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 Pnei Shabbat, Pnei Shabbat, Kabbalat.
Shamor v'zachor.
Shamor v'zachor, b'limo echad, v'yishmi'anu el ha'meyuchad, Adonai echad, u'shmo echad, l'shemo tiferet, v'liticha. Ya elai elai, ya la 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 Lachadodi, ya la 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 Likrat Kala, ya la 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 Pnei Shabbat, Pnei Shabbat, Kabbalat. Likrat Shabbat, לכו ונלכה, כי מקור הברכה, מראש מקדם לשוחה, סוף מעשה ומה ששבת תחילה.
Ya
אלai אלai, ya la 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 Lachadodi, ya la 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 Likrat Kala, ya la 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 Pnei Shabbat, Pnei Shabbat, Kabbalat.
page 139.
התעוררי, התעוררי, תבעורת, קומי אורי, 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 שדברי, כבוד אדוני, עלייך ניתן. יא אלai אלai, יא la 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 Lachadodi, יא la 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 Likrat Kala, יא la 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 Pnei Shabbat, Pnei Shabbat, Kabbalat. בואי ושלום, עטרת בלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה, בואי כלה, בואי כלה, יא אלai אלai, יא la 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 Lachadodi, יא la la la
From the last paragraph on page 143, in the main section, together, waking from his sleep, Jacob said, "Truly Adonai is in this place, and I did not know it." He was awestruck and said, "How awe-inspiring is this place! This is none other than the house of God, and this is the gate of heaven." Chetzi Kaddish on page 144, Baruch Hu on page 146. Please rise.
Almighty Vakirute, Viamdich Malchute, Bechayechon, Uvianechon, Uchayecha Beit Yisrael, Bagala, Uvizman Kariv, Bimeru, Yehei Shemei Rabba Mevoach, Le'olam ol me'amaya, Yitvarach, Yitvarach, V'yishtabach, V'yitpar, V'yitromam, V'yitnaseh, V'yitadar, V'yitalev, V'yitalal, Shemei L'kudesha, B'rechu, Le'ela Mincha Birchata V'shirata, Tush Birchata V'nechemata, Damiram Yaman Bimeru. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, ma'ariv haravim, b'chokhma poteach sha'arim, uvitvuna mishane itim, umachalif et hazmanim, umisader et hakochavim, v'mishmerotehem barakia kiretzono, borei yom v'leila, bolel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or.
ומבהיר יום ומבהיר לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו. אל חי וקיים תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני.
Baruch Hu Baruch Shemo.
Ba'ari baravi.
Amen. The bottom of 150. Everlasting love, you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai, our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel.
Baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael.
Amen.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai echad. Baruch Shem kevod malchuto leolam va'ed.
Please be seated.
154. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי V'tem kedoshim leElohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem, Asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, liot lachem leElohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem.
Adonai Elohechem, Emet. Page 157, on the top. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there, except by joining hands, marching together.
Adonai et Yaakov, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני,
Baruch Hu Baruch Shemo.
גאל ישראל.
Amen. Page 160.
השכיבנו אדוני, אלוהינו לשלום, והעמידנו שומרנו לחיים. השכיבנו אדוני, אלוהינו לשלום, והעמידנו שומרנו לחיים. ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך. השכיבנו אדוני, אלוהינו לשלום, והעמידנו שומרנו לחיים.
Get the guitar stand.
The guitar stand's coming. I just didn't bring it this time.
One item for next week's checklist. Baruch atah Adonai, hapores sukat shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. Page 163 in English, then back to 162 for Vashamru. We are a people in whom the past endures, in whom the present is inconceivable without moments gone by. The Exodus lasted a moment enduring forever. What happened once upon a time happens all the time.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורות המרית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורות המרית עולם. כי ששת ימים, כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורות המרית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינופש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורות המרית עולם.
Pray as if everything depends on God. Act as if everything depends on you. The Amidah, the Tefillah, beginning on page 164. Please rise.
Adonai sifchatai tiftach u'viyati tehillatech. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, v'Konei Hakol, v'Zocher Chasearot v'Imahot, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, מוריד הצל. מחכה חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, צומח נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו בשני עפר. מי כמוך בגבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך מליט ומחייך, ומצליח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלע. Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh.
Continue in personal prayer. You may be seated, page 174.
Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu be'amecha Yisrael u'tehilatam be'ava tekabel Utehi liratzon Tamid avodat Yisrael Yisrael amecha El karov lechol korav pnei elav adecha v'chanenu shefuch ruchacha alenu ותחזינה עינינו בשובך לציון ברחמים ברוך אתה אדוני המחזיר שכינתו לציון
Continue in personal prayer. Page 180.
עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, Israel. Ya'aseh shalom, Ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Ya'aseh shalom, Ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, Ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael.
Mishaberach Avotenu Avraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov v'imotenu Sarah Rivka Rachel v'Leah u'yivarech v'yirapeh et hacholim ha'eleh. O God, who blessed our ancestors Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, send your blessing and your healing, your comfort and your hope to all those whose names I will mention in a moment, and in addition to those, all those whose names you will add or you hold within your heart. As we share the names here in the sanctuary, if you are watching with us on Facebook and would like to add a name so that we may see it later, please feel free to do so as well. We send our thoughts, our love, our hopes, our prayer for healing to Pam Cinderbrand, Alan Rosenfield, Mona Ellis, Murray Savar, Chaim Zanvil Ben Chaya Rivka, Chana Bat Tova Esther, Melinda Jacobs, Diane Klein. Baruch atah Adonai Rofeh Cholim. We praise you, O God, who helps us heal, who hears our prayer. The words are on the inside back cover of most of the Sidurim, most of the prayer books that you are holding.
Abraham, Yitzchak, v'Yaakov. Mi sheberach imotenu, Sarah, Rivka, Leah, v'Rachel. May the one who blessed our mothers, may the one who blessed our fathers, hear our prayer.
Hear our prayer.
Hear our prayer. Hear our prayer.
Hear our prayer.
Hear our prayer and bless us as well. Bless us with the power of your healing. Bless us with the power of your hope. May the pain and loneliness we're feeling be diminished by the power of your love. Mishaberach Avotenu, Abraham, Yitzchak, v'Yaakov. Mishaberach Imotenu, Zarariv Chaldea Virachel. May the one who blessed our mothers, may the one who blessed our fathers, hear our prayer,
Hear our prayer.
hear our
Hear our
prayer,
prayer.
hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well.
There were two items that I noticed in the world of science this past week. One about a week ago and the other this morning. About a week ago, scientists were finally able to prove yet another theoretical bit of speculation on the part of Albert Einstein when they were able to measure the time from pulsars hundreds of billions of light years away. And they realized that, as Einstein had predicted, time was slower when the universe began. It took all that time for that message to get to us, all that time for that light from far away to reach us. This morning, I heard about an experiment that is set to last 374 days. I don't know why the specific number, of those who are going to enter into isolation and somehow try to duplicate the experience of being on Mars. It's nice to be able to communicate with those who are outside, but the scientists have insisted that there be a 22-minute delay between any signals that they receive or any that we will hear, because that is how long it would take to get a message to or from Mars. I was thinking about that as I was looking at the Torah portion this week, and realizing that every week there are messages for us that come from long ago and far away. But there is that time lag, there is that delay in time. And so how we hear the messages it may change over time. It may be distorted by time. We may even hear things in very new ways. And so there are two stories in this week's portion which leap out at me in particular. The portion, Parashat Pinchas, opens with the aftermath of an act of religious zealotry, of what we might today consider violent behavior. It is the story from the end of last week's portion of an Israelite man and a Moabite woman who were caught, how old are you, Olivia? In flagrante delicti. And they were then dispatched by Pinchas with a single thrust of his sword, which got both of them, if that gives you the accurate description of the scene. And Pinchas, who would be considered a religious fanatic and a zealot today, was given a reward at the beginning of this week's portion. Although even by the time of the Talmud, the rabbis of the Talmud were distinctly uncomfortable with this way of displaying loyalty to our people. And they turned what had been a reward into something which contained and constrained him. But that is a story as well of time dilation, of how the message hits at a different time. But then at the end of this week's portion is a second story, a story of 2 steps forward and perhaps 1 step back. It sets it up for us in the genealogy where it tells us that a man named Zelophehad had no sons and only daughters, and then you know something strange is up, because it actually names the daughters, which it does very, very infrequently in the Torah. And so we come towards the end of this week's portion, to the daughters of Zelophehad coming forward and saying to Moses, "Our father died in the wilderness, but he was not amongst those who died as a follower of Korach. He died for natural causes, or as the Torah said, for his own sin. Why should the land from our father pass out of our control and out of our hands just because he had no son? Why can't we inherit as well?" And Moses gave an answer which is either a sign of the times or of great wisdom. And he said, unlike many, many others, he said, "I don't know, I'll go ask." And in one of the most profound lines in the Torah, the response is the plea from God. The plea of the daughters of Zelophehad is just. And so the daughters were able to inherit the land 2 steps forward, and then at the end of the book of Numbers, an added footnote, because sometimes you have to read the footnotes, with an added restriction that said, but they have to marry only within their clan, so the land won't pass out of their own clan. A number of years ago, I had the very, very great privilege of serving as a rabbi in Buffalo with the woman who was the world's first ever female cantor. There had been many women who sang in synagogues beforehand, but Barbara Ostfeld was the first one ordained. At the time we called it invested, but ordained as a co-clergy, trained almost as rabbis, and taking her place in the Jewish world, along with Sally Presand, the first modern, there are a couple of earlier examples, the first modern female rabbi. Cantor Ostfeld took her place as the first female cantor. This congregation has known the musical leadership of women in the past, but it's just an honor and a privilege to remember and to realize that in the long time of history of the Jewish people, with the time dilation and the message hitting us in new ways as we live in our lives, it is within the living memory of many of us in this room that women have become rabbis and cantors for the very first time in Jewish history. I'm honored, I'm privileged, I'm delighted to share the bima with my new bima partner, Rhoda Harrison. And if there's anything you want to share about your own journey at this time, please join me here and I'll sit down and happily listen.
I'll only share a sentence to really reiterate something you said, Rabbi. It didn't dawn on me to be a cantor because I didn't have those female role models, and I sadly was not as bold as my colleague cantor Barbara Ostfeld, who was ordained in 1975, actually. It took till somewhere in the late 80s when I was in college, my mother may know the year best, when I came home from college, our congregation hired a student cantor, and lo and behold, it was a woman. I had been doing something completely different with my life at that point when I thought, and the bell went off. So thank you for raising that, because I too had no female role models growing up until I came home from college that day. And I believe it was Lainey Katsu, a colleague of ours. So just to reiterate that. And I'm so proud to work with you, Michael.
At this time, we call President of our congregation, Linda Carr. And at one point, of course, in the history of the Reform movement, women were presidents of sisterhood. because it would not have occurred to the congregation to have a woman as president of the congregation. So now I'm just waiting for men to be presidents of sisterhood.
Okay. What does one say to that? I do follow a long line of female presidents in this congregation, and I'm proud to be doing that. I should have started with Shabbat Shalom to everyone that is here with us in the synagogue and to those that are watching from home. Please join us for candles and Kiddush in the Ashner Auditorium at the conclusion of services. We will also be having a reception, and I do wish to thank Shara Gadomski for organizing this reception. I know she can hear us on the other side of the wall, and she's still finishing up. So tonight, Rabbi, you might want to talk a little longer, okay?
That's the first time I've ever heard that.
Yes, I'm sure. We do want to thank the Sanson family for the Bima flowers in loving memory of Rachel and Bernie. Shabbat morning services will meet at 9:15 a.m. tomorrow in the Cohen Library, and then Shabbat study, and then services will begin at 10:30 in the Wolf Chapel. On Friday, July the 14th at 5:30, please join with us as Rabbi and his wife Julie have invited us to their home for a Shabbat service and a Shabbat dinner. And it is a pool party, but you don't have to go in the pool, but it is a very beautiful pool. And it is a potluck dinner. It is kosher or dairy. So please, if you would like to come, call the office and let the office know what you would like to bring, but just make sure that it is kosher. We will be having beach services on Friday, July the 21st, and on August the 18th at 5:30 on Huntington Avenue Beach in Margate. Bring a lawn chair so in the service, and they are quite beautiful, so I hope you will join us there. On Monday evening, July the 24th, there is a J Place book group, but that one is in person here in the Cohen Library, and we will be viewing a presentation by the author Weena Day Randall on her newest book, Night Angels. And for those of you that are members of the congregation, you may know Rena's sister-in-law and brother-in-law, Rob and Marcy Randall. They have just moved this week to Texas, but I know they will be joining us online. And that is only in person that evening. Join Rabbi Feshbach in the Wolf Chapel on Wednesday, July the 26th at 7:30 p.m. for Tish B'Av service. And we will be hosting a Red Cross blood drive on Thursday, July the 27th here at the synagogue from 1 to 6 p.m. If you wish to donate, you must contact the American Red Cross to schedule a time. With that, again, welcome to Cantor Rhoda and Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, and thank you. I've been asked both to keep talking and to share something about the history of the congregation to those who are here for the first time tonight. The stained glass windows, which we will face in a moment as we ask Olivia and Bailey to come forward as our ark door openers for Aleinu. The stained glass windows were brought here from the second physical building of the congregation, the Pacific Avenue, Atlantic City location. They were not in the Margate building, is that correct, Steve? Where were they during the time when we were in Margate? They were stored for what? Did somebody envision bringing them out someday? So sometimes when you save something for another day, you actually do get to use it again. And when we came to Northfield, the vision and inspiration of Steve's father, in moving here, the windows came out of storage wherever they had been during the Margate years and formed part of the anchor of our congregation, linking us to our past. As we look today and celebrate looking ahead to our congregation's future, we are reminded of our history as well. We continue with Aleinu. On the bottom of page 586, and as we continue with Aleinu, please rise.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'ateit gdula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu kibayei ha'aratzot, velo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu ka'em, v'gor aleinu k'chol hamonam. אנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא שהוא נטע שמיים ויוסד הארץ מושב יקרו השמיים ממעל ושכינתו זו ושכינתו זו בגופי מרומים הוא אלוהינו אין עוד
אמת מלכנו אפס ולטוב, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבות אל לבביך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. As is the custom of our congregation, should you feel comfortable doing so, should you choose to do so, we ask that as we call the name of a loved one, you rise so that we may know that you are here in mourning and in memory. Then we will, as is the custom in almost all Reform synagogues, rise as a congregation as a whole for Kaddish Yatom, for the mourner's Kaddish itself. When I die, give what's left of me away to children and old men who wait to die. And if you need to cry, cry for your brother, your sister, walking the street beside you. And when you need me, put your arms around anyone and give to them what you need to give to me. I want to leave you something better than words or sounds. Look for me in the people I've known or loved. And if you cannot give me away, at least let me live on in your eyes and not in your mind. You can love me best by letting hands touch hands, by letting bodies touch bodies, and by letting go of children who need to be free. Love doesn't die, people do. So when all that's left of me is love, give me away. We remember at this time those of our congregation's beloved whose yahrzeit occurs on this Shabbat. Harriet Aaron, Jack Bacharach, Lillian Back, Sophie Binnenstock, David Bogdanov, Rose Cheskis, Herbert Clofine, Barbara Collier, Sue Cohen, Muriel Feshbach, Lillian Rosenstein Fox, Steen Gadden, Robert Gamberg, Moses Goldenberg, Tenny Hannigbaum, Fanny Harris, Florence Herkheimer, Ada Kaplan, Robert Katz, Joseph Kaufman, Hyman Marwell, Hattie Moldauer, William Newman, Samuel Nisman, Fanny Ox, Sandra Parlin, Herman Pogachevsky, Florence Richmond, Dr. Alfred Rosenblatt, Bernie Sanson, Rachel Sanson, Ada Shinman, Morris Summerson, Marjorie Stein, Hannah Tandler, Horace Weinstein, Joseph Yantis, Lillian Young, Pearl Zabel. During this period of Shloshim, we mention B. Robert Anderson, and I ask if there's anyone here to say Kaddish for someone whose name I did not mention or any names I may have mispronounced. Memories of all of our loved ones are with us. Our griefs and sympathies are mingled as we turn to page 598 and rise as a congregation for Kaddish Yatom. Yitkadal v'yikadash shemei Rabbah, v'alma divrach rotei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayei chon uvyom echon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach leolam olmei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekudusha breichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, ba'amiran ba'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'imru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn amongst us, and wherever they are bereaved, all those who are suffering the pain of loss everywhere, in every congregation, and every community. And together, let us say,
Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'al kol yoshvei tevel.
the author of the setting of the words we are about to sing, Olem Chesed Yibaneh, Menachem Creditor, Rabbi Menachem Creditor, was with us here on this bima last October as the Jewish Federation sponsored an event on Jewish responses to the Dobbs decision. Rabbi Creditor set this piece to music 20 years ago. It has very few words. I believe we have a handout. Olam Chesed Yibaneh. We will build this world with love, and the other parts are in English.
Olam chesed yibaneh, yalalai, yalalai, yalalai. Olam chesed yibaneh, yalalai, yalalai, yalalai. Olam chesed yibaneh, yalalai, yalalai, yalalai. Olam chesed yibaneh, yalalai, yalalai. I will build this world from now. Yalalai, yalalai. And you must build this world from now. Yalalai, yalalai. And you
Shabbat Shalom. Kiddush and Motzi, I believe, are in the Ashner Auditorium and not the Weiss Lobby. So please join us for candles, Kiddush, Motzi, Kugel, Sangria, and whatever else has been put out.
Sorry about the guitar drop.
I hope the guitar's okay.
The guitar is fine.
That was
I just
wonderful.
had to retune it behind what you were saying at Mishavera.
Tom, thank you so
Yes.
much. Janet, great to be with you.
Just leave this here.
Thank you, Susan. All right, let's go do candles and Kiddush. If we're going to manage to go out, we'll have a little bit here and then go somewhere.
Absolutely. Yeah. Take this.
I might recommend Nizam's again just because of the
It's-
spacious
Yeah, it's
setting
so
there.
good.
Because